Okay, we are live. So, what's happening, ladies and gentlemen of Week Zero, and welcome to Week 4? Yeah, Week 4 of Novice. Week 3, the third week of their games. Of course, they had the bye week last week with Valentine's Day. This is Geometric versus Plat Chat Bun here. Okay. Anyways, the the streamer could not make it. So we're gonna go ahead and just record this match. In the meantime, I'm Acronator. I'll be the host of the match. Unfortunately, I won't be able to hide match chat because of that. I need to call, or I need to do pauses, whatever they're called, if they're called. Oh, button left. Anyways, we also have Viper here, the color caster.
Yeah, hey everyone, I'm Viper. I'm a main tank player for Pepega, and I'm excited to be providing some color commentary on this game. We were kind of talking about it a little earlier, Acri. This game should be pretty interesting, especially since Geo actually lost one of their key players. So
Yep, Hanzo was forcibly moved up to intermediate. Unfortunately, her stats were just too evident that she did not belong in Novice. So she had to move up to intermediate. Thankfully, she found a home on Wait What.
yeah, wait, what? Picking her up.
All right.
Not really too surprised. It seemed like they were a pretty strong player. So in Novice, very interesting to see how they do in intermediate. But looks like we might be ready to go here. Yeah.
Yep. Anyways, Geometric won the coin flip. So let me just open up the pinned message we have in admin chat for the map pool. So, oh, Geometric's one step ahead of me. Thank you for that. I love Novice because they're so organized. It's so fast. You know, they already know what maps they want and everything, so they have chosen Lijiang Tower. The lobby is all set up already. And we're just going to check if the teams are ready. And then we are going to be good to go. Straight into Lijiang. We were talking a little bit before we... Oh, Geometric is not quite ready.
That's okay, though. Gotta say, not really surprised to see Li Zhang here. I feel like even like intermediate, I don't know about advanced, but I know in intermediate, like we scrim at Li Zhang all the time. It's just, I think it's just out of the options, Li Zhang is just the most comfort pick for a lot of teams, or a lot of players at least. So
yeah. However, I have seen probably about 50-50 in terms of Busan picks, but in this case, Geometric has not had very good success with Busan in the past. We do have one quick substitution coming in. They decide to sub in SD Awesome. We'll just probably be referring to him as Awesome because it's a lot faster to say than the full name. Alianos might be AFK or whatever, or maybe they just decided he's our Awesome is our control specialist. I believe he has played most control maps on Geometric, if I remember correctly. Anyways, Platchat never gave their ready in the first place. Okay, Platchat is now ready. They might still be conversing among themselves. They are all set to go. Got the go-ahead from their captain and their flex support.
yes.
See, that's the nice part about having to record these, is that, or at least record these for Novice, is that they're rather tame in match chat. Some teams cough, wait, what?
Well, as you know, another team called Pepega Parrots has a little issue with match chat sometimes. That's okay.
We don't talk about that.
We don't talk about that, so it's fine.
Supposedly, he was spamming Tanic on DMs, but Tanic went offline, is what I've heard, is the story.
The chicken was hacked.
Rigged.
But
script.
Yeah, it's all rigged. No, yeah, this should be exciting as we finally getting our team comps situated here.
We're gonna start off on Night Market, potentially some Symmetra play. Definitely viable on this map to get to the point faster. It does look like we are seeing pretty standard comp coming out from Geometric at the very least. Platchat, I want them to rely on this, but they're not going to. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty standard.
I'd imagine a switch here. Lucio Brig we tried for a little while, but Brig got that nerf and it just didn't really work out. So this will be very interesting as the comps are pretty much mirrored.
Almost, yeah, besides the Reaper versus the McCree. Reaper has sort of fallen out of the meta. Anyways, the two teams go straight to main. meeting up. Geometric gets a little bit closer to point and will take it right away. Microwave actually taking a lot of early freeze damage onto Nias, and he will charge in, but he won't get to finish his charge as he falls down, and sure enough, Bop falls soon after. And the rest of Geometric just kind of collapses onto Platchat here.
Yeah, that initial pick from SD was really, really good, but looks like Geo's gonna clean up here.
Oh, that was an extremely late stagger. I don't know why Nias was there. Everyone was retreating, but he must have charged in to try and save his teammates that were being staggered, and it just ended up in a nightmare. Actually, Alpha Omega swapped back to the Reaper.
Yeah. I don't know, I think it's kind of an interesting switch to play Reaper if you want to go more brawl, I guess, because they weren't really utilizing that range that McCree offers you and that stun they could get on the Rhine. They did stun Corpse early, but not too much.
Not too large of a shatter, but a lot of value in the meantime. Corb's getting bullied by Alpha Omega, who will take him down eventually. Vaporeon is nanoed and will manage to take it. Or, sorry, that's Storm. Never mind. Wrong team. The colors. Vaporeon was on Diva briefly. When did he swap over to Zarya? It must have been just as they were staggering.
Yeah.
No.
That's a great stagger by Storm onto Eagle. Couldn't quite get out as fast as he wanted to. You saw Corbs did get I think only Shattered missed, but I mean, honestly, shattering the Mei is like one of the most important things as Reinhardt. Getting rid of that freeze is just so crucial. And you saw right there, I mean, he only shatters one, but it was enough to clean up the fight.
Awesome almost got caught out there, but he does manage to escape. However, he's playing with fire as the rest of Platchat is right next to him, and he doesn't have his Wraithwalk anymore. Nias does have his Shatter. However, there are 4 ultimates coming in from Geometric, and he does manage to find Bop with that Death Blossom. Awesome does. And Flintless manages to take out Nias in the meantime, so despite getting slept out of his Death Blossom, Awesome does manage to find some value out of that.
And I mean, you can see there, I mean, they only had to use one ultimate, that Death Blossom. It's so crucial here coming up on last fight. Vaporeon doesn't even have Grav yet. Mistfire doesn't even have Blossom. And Andrew had to waste his Nano there just trying to save his Reinhardt that was out of position. But here we're going to just see an absolute chaos of a fight here.
Microwave having a little bit of trouble with that Mei tracking on point here, whereas Bop didn't quite manage to recontest the point in the meantime. Unfortunate, he was skirting around trying to avoid Microwave's Mei, but I guess the threat of his presence was enough to back off. Worth noting here that Bop is normally a flex DPS for Platchat. He is filling on main support because I believe, as Platchat put it, Lordy is drunk. so anyone who knows Lordy from the main server knows that it's not very surprising, but unfortunate for Platchat.
Yeah, definitely unfortunate. You could tell, I mean, Platchat barely got any room to breathe that entire round, just being choked up time and time again there, just not being able to make any space. And actually, Geo might be going for a sim strat here, but...
Yeah, and Vaporeon's sticking on that Zarya. Now, he is probably one of the better Zaryas in Novice. Oh, Nias gets slept early on in that fight. However, he's woken up almost immediately by Storm poking him down. Flintless getting incredibly low, and he does not get caught out. He will survive. However, his tanks are getting incredibly low in the meantime, lacking that crucial Lucio healing. Both teams kind of equal on point. However, a huge anti-nade comes in from Alu. But it looks like Vaporeon's bubbles will save that. Anjao actually is on the break here, but it doesn't seem like he's getting too much value out of it. Staying further in the backline, trying to protect his fellow support. And Bop. Alpha does manage to take out Corbs with a Storm Arrow. Geometric does seem to be getting the advantage in the point here, however they have not captured it until just now. Microwave waiting for a cheeky wall to section off any of Platchat.
Yeah, and I mean, we saw there, like, Geometric, Corpse got so low, it's just Platchat unable to finish him off. Just a lack of target focus, I think, really could have swung that fight. And as we see here, the Rhine
Nano comes in onto Corpse, and he just dives into it. A grab does come up from Vaporeon, however, they've already lost 2, probably for naught. As, yeah, pretty much everyone on Platchat's either getting out or dying. Or both.
Yeah, or both indeed. Trying to get the reset. He's staggered himself a little bit, but they're going to be coming up on Dragon here. Can probably build Shatter. You saw, though, Geometric actually double stack their support ultimate, so this could be a really good fight coming in for Platchat if they
Possibly.
use these ultimates right here coming up.
And they are coming up on, what, 5 ultimates? Vaporeon's really the only one.
This is a good rally here.
Early rally coming in, getting a very aggressive power, but that's probably 2 or 3 people antied. However, Storm and Alpha Omega claiming 2 kills for themselves. However, it looks like the value is coming in for Platchat here, as it's really just Flintless and Storm on point stalling out, and it's really not much he can do with, especially when the Mei survives. Flint trying his darndest to stall.
Yeah, Flint's gonna get out with his life, luckily, unless a stray arrow hits him here. No. I actually don't like that bomb from Storm. It wasn't really, there was no tempo, there was no really pressure to break the shield for the side of Geometric here. And now they don't have that bomb pressure to force, Platchat to move back to the point here.
Yeah,
but,
definitely.
Misfire does have that Blizzard, so this could be really interesting if the Blizzard doesn't get eaten here.
Yep, however, he needs to play safe, and Nias gets frozen and melted down completely. Looks like Awesome will get frozen out, but Microwave in the meantime almost freezes Misfire.
Oh, that's a nice pick, though.
Does not get eaten, but he does die for attempting it. Storm protecting the rest of his team, and huge shatter coming in from Corvus rather late in that fight. They were already winning, but I guess they wanted to secure that. They're not quite into one fight territory, but they're 65%.
It's close.
They do need to get...
it's definitely at least 2 fight territory.
Yeah.
But that shatter was a little overzealous Corbs there, but
yeah.
it did confirm the kills.
Geometric has never been one to hold on to their ultimates for too long, I will say that.
That's totally fair.
Ooh, nice wall blocking off. Really only Alpha Omega. Early grab coming in from Vaporeon. Grab Dragon coming in. Does manage to take out Flintless, and Microwave does fall soon after. Geometric is on the retreat now with Alu and Storm both backing out. Alu might not be able to survive with his life. He will, actually, as Corpse comes back, as he died rather early in that fight.
Hey, you just brought it up. Corpse dying. Your Reinhardt dying so early in fights is really, really detrimental. We saw there a couple ultimates to push through the choke, and Alpha had a nice dragon here to clutch up. See, this is a good bomb.
Corpse jumped out. Okay, Storm. Normally on the flex
that bomb
support,
was perfect.
But that was beautifully placed. Might not have the best game sense or positioning at times, but Storm has incredible mechanics, if nothing else. Rather aggressive there from Corpse, but he doesn't quite get punished. In the meantime, Platchat does throw out basically everything they have left. Alpha Omega returns on the Sombra and does contest point, but it might not be for too long. Not sure what that shatter was with Corpse, but they are now showing Anjao what they think of his Brig. In the meantime, Geometric looks like they'll be taking this 2-0.
Yeah, definitely not really close. Map 2 was a lot better than Map 1. Or I should say, I guess the second map in this Fishang was a lot better for Platchat, but I mean, you can kind of tell with some of their off rolls, like Eagle doesn't really look comfortable on Lucio.
I think it's more just like, hey guys, we need someone to fill main support. Well, I can play Lucio, kind of.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of how it feels. Yeah, that bomb from Storm was actually perfect. Like I talked about earlier, you really want to try and use bomb to pressure out the Reinhardt and force them back. And I mean, that's exactly what Storm did. He just inted with bomb, and it got him a 3K there at the end, and that was pretty much all they needed to seal the deal. So definitely a very strong showing from Geometric. Plat looked a lot better on map 2, so we'll see if they can continue to get a little better here as the series goes.
We do have one substitution coming in for Geometric. Alianos coming in for Awesome. Maverick from Platchat opts to go to Hanamura instead of Anubis. I believe we've seen a lot more Anubis from Novice, especially from Platchat in particular, but I guess we're going to get to see the Dranamura, possibly.
Yeah, definitely interesting. Hanamura has a lot of... definitely going to see a lot of Mei play here. I'd be very, very surprised if we didn't see a lot of Mei, especially considering that choke on point A is just so brutal for Rhine players. I know from experience. That first choke on Hanamura A is just absolutely disgusting. If you have a good Mei who lands their walls correctly, I mean, it's going to be a nightmare for the attacking side.
This is interesting. So Geometric won the map, so they get to choose attack or defend. And normally they've been like the last couple weeks they've been choosing offense first because they're a very aggressive team. But one thing I noticed is that probably because Hanzo is gone, and especially because Storm is on off tank right now, that Corbs isn't surviving as much.
Yeah.
And that to me, especially with their playstyle, it's not quite as aggressive as it used to be. They can't get away with their Mercy Hattori Hanzo now, who's in intermediate, just keeping Corpse alive no matter what. Like they really have to try hard, and they're actually going on defense first, or maybe they just want to take a quick map. Maybe they're confident that they can.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'd be leaning towards the latter. Definitely, it kind of shows me that they're very confident after their league or their victory on Lijiang here. So could be a little bit of an ego check here for Geometric, especially if they get rolled here on Hanamura. But I mean, the way they played on Control, I'd be very surprised if that was going to be the case. But who knows? I mean, Plat could come out and surprise us. Eagle definitely could be getting a little more comfortable on that Lucio. But I mean, we'll just have to wait and see, because I mean, Plat looked pretty disorganized there. Especially on their engages, so
they didn't quite know when to back up, when to move forward, and that's something that some of their counterparts in Novice, like Hyperflex, like One Trick Wonders, from what I've seen, they're really good at disengaging and then re-engaging. Plat just hasn't really seemed to get that down, but sure enough, both teams are ready now. I would have asked for more substitutes, but Geometric called for the one sub that they actually have in the lobby. It would have been kind of pointless to have Alianos come in and then oh wait, yeah, swap SD Awesome in for this person as well. It's like, why not just swap Alianos for the other person? So logic at work. Anyways, Plat will have their first chance at attack to start here. Very curious to see what they're going to decide to play. Anzhao did try and pull out some Brig there on Control Center in particular, and in theory, that works if the enemy DPS are the problem. Otherwise, it's tricky.
Yeah, it's
to
definitely
pull it
hard.
Off.
It's hard. You'll see a lot of teams actually opting to, instead of playing Lucio, they actually opt for on a Brig. We'll see. Alianos here starting on Kree. He may switch, but I actually really like the McCree pick now. I know he did get changed a little bit with his ult, but that wasn't really the reason he became meta. I think Flash is just super powerful, and he does a lot more damage to Rein Shield than Hanzo does now, ironically. So he's a lot better for shield pressure than Hanzo is. So that's why we don't really see a lot of Hanzo anymore. But
Vaporeon's still opting for that Zarya as well.
Yeah, it must be a comfort pick here. I think D.Va's a lot stronger right now, but I mean, Bubble's really good for cleansing anti, for cleansing freeze, stuff like that. So it's basically a better way to bail out your Reinhardt. So we'll see how this goes here, as they have a very brawly comp coming into point A.
Nice early wall coming in from Mistfire. However, it is met with a wall by Microwave as well. However, Plat does manage to come out. Corbs melts almost immediately, but so does Nias. However, Plat is falling more consistently. Geometric cleaning up at this point. Yeah, rather short fight there. Short engagement.
Yeah, very, very scattered. That was a little bit too much of a brawl. We saw those walls kind of get really close to each other and basically trapped both Reinhardts in this tiny little combat arena. But again, Alianos, like what I talked about earlier, McCree just gets so much space with this comp. You can just fire away, poke at the Rein Shield, poke at the Brig, have flashbang for that Reaper, for that Mei that tries to get close and freeze your Reinhardt. And I mean, he's already 70% to his High Noon here. Microwave's also closing in on his Blizzard, so this should be...
Oh no, Misfire got caught out. They threw in a wall there, but only Misfire was up front. Everyone else backed out, and sure enough, they soft disengage here. Corbs does get stunned, but it doesn't quite matter. The timing there by Nias just a little bit off. Just thankfully doesn't feed into the enemy backline. However, he does need to be careful here of the enemy wall coming in, as that's most certainly off of cooldown.
Oh, 100% here, and I think Corbs playing very smart with the supports they have. Not playing too over-aggressive. Oh. That shatter.
Did manage to get
that's a huge anti, though.
Large amount of ultimates being thrown out. Nano, High Noon. High Noon does manage to find a frozen Eagle debuff in the meantime. Bomb to remech there from Storm. Corbs throughout the shatter there. He didn't really get too much value out of it. Misfire's wall kind of negated collapsing in on those who were actually stunned, despite the fact that a few were. Nias is playing incredibly far up right now.
Yeah, I think Plat chat there using both support ults to engage was very interesting, especially since they're on defense. They had that rally armor they could play really conservative with in that beat, and now Microwave's gonna have a blizzard here. That might honestly be able to stop them altogether.
It's a free blizzard too. There's nothing to eat it. I mean, unless they stun out of it. Nice attempted combo, but Alpha Omega just kind of got stunned out of that with Alianos' flashbang. It's really something you gotta wait for before you invest the Death Blossom there. Alpha Omega seems to be getting a little bit more desperate as he swaps over to a Doomfist. Definitely viable in this meta, but not top tier. And well, I guess he doesn't have any ult charge to worry about since he just kind of got negated.
Yeah, definitely going to be looking for those punch picks here. Definitely going to be super crucial for them. Alianos coming up on the Deadeye here. Both DPS ults for Geometric, so this is going to be really hard unless Misfire gets an absolutely god-tier Blizzard here.
Flatchat, once again, just kind of chilling right in front of the choke, not really pushing forward. They're lacking that confidence that is so desperately needed here. Alpha Omega tries to punch in. High Noon coming out. Oh no, Misfire's ultimate was eaten by Storm beautifully, and Alianos will clean up the remainder. Flatchat is now sub 1 minute. They have probably one good fight and then a bunch of staggers coming in. Corpse has his Shatter, and Microwave still has Blizzard.
Yep, and oh man, Flatchat, Nis has to hit the absolute shatter of his life here if he wants to bail out his team. So this is going to be very interesting, and you can already see Nis's shield just getting so low from all that poke pressure with that Kree. Oh, that's a huge sleeve!
Misfire
Oh my
gets
goodness.
Slept. Corpse kind of tosses his Shatter into nowhere.
Oh, that's a
Beautiful
very
wall.
large shatter, though.
Beautiful wall coming in from Misfire, completely negates it. Storm tosses out the bomb and fights 3! How did he do that?
Oh,
I was watching it, I don't know how he did that.
Storm again with a huge clutch on the bomb here. I think Corbs just, or not Corbs, sorry, Nis just did not have his shield up, and just, oh man. Again, Storm absolutely bailing out his team. I mean, I said it, Nis hit the shatter of his life, but I mean, Storm just had a better bomb, so
Like,
there's only so much you can do
just
there if you're
stood
Flat
there
Chat.
and accepted their fate. They're like, you know what? We're done. This is it. We're gonna get full health. Watch the explosion, I guess.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it goes back to what we talked about earlier. I think Geometric really feeling themselves, very confident going for that defense on first. So, I mean, no matter what, they at least get a draw here. So
Yep. At the very least, this cannot end.
now they know exactly what they have to do to win. If I was Geo, I just stack 6 ults, and we press W and use all our Qs. That's literally what you do.
I don't know if they're going to need that. They might just be able to take it with vanilla.
They honestly might just be able to just out-bully them on the front line because, you know, playing this, like...
Okay. Orisa coming out from Vaporeon.
Double shield? Okay, I actually like the double shield here. Especially, like, pull Fire Strike, obviously, is, you know, pretty strong still. Usually, I think teams opt to run Baptiste instead of Anna, but I think this will still work out pretty well.
The value of Anti-Nade in this meta, especially...
It's very strong, yeah.
Bap's Immortality Field is kind of nerfed to Oblivion, where it's pointless now. So, like, I can understand not wanting to run the Bap.
Yeah.
What is this position Alpha Omega has found? I like... Oh, he got off of it, but I didn't know you could stand there.
Yeah, very interesting team comp here. I like the Junkrat. The Junkrat's going to provide a lot of shield pressure. Honestly, kind of surprised Geo isn't opting for like a Symmetra strat, but Corb's dropping dangerously low.
Oh, he doesn't
here
even get the nade, so he's extremely low and will be healed up at normal speed. However, that is a lot of ult charge to Alu as well. He's almost 40% to his nano, which is rather ahead of Anjo at the moment. Microwave gets melted, but Misfire gets antied. However, it's 2 for 2 now. Alpha Omega
killing 3 here. Can he get 4? I think he can.
Storm antied here. In the meantime, he is 1, and he will get demexed by Alpha Omega, who just bullies the baby. Doesn't look like they're going to stagger too much. Alpha Omega already on the Riptire. Please take out the baby, thank you.
Flint actually got a poop on his way out. That's actually huge. If he can escape with his life here, they're actually just going to straight up recontest.
Oh, the tire does come out, and Flint and both supports from Geometric will not escape that. two frozen on point, but it looks like Microwave decided it's easier to just give up on that. Alianos did not get the memo and was proceeding to duel Vaporeon, but unfortunately McCree cannot outduel a shifting Orisa.
Yep, that's 100% true here. I mean, Alianos got 2, and, you know, that might have been flippable, but Microwave just decided to hard reset. I mean, they have the time for it, right? So they can afford to kind of, you know, pick around, play with their food a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. However, Platchat was so staggered in their kills that they didn't, in their deaths, that they didn't have everyone back to point, so they didn't hold the choke point. Aliano's flanking around here to the side. He does have his Deadeye. He's going for Anjou at the moment. Corbs takes out, or no, we saw that was Neas, who takes out quite a few with his Shatter, and it looks like Geometric is going to have to retreat once again.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Alianos go on that flank, and it could have been a really good play, but he actually missed his flashbang on the Ana, so he actually ended up stunning the Lucio and couldn't get his combo off. So, you know, the flank, it was a good idea in concept. He just, you know, he missed that flashbang and it missed that crucial pick on that Ana, especially now coming up on. They have Nano, they both are support ults and Bongo, so it should be a pretty even fight. Even though Geo has both their DPS ults.
Geo also is coming up on Diva Bomb, which has carried them to 2 points thus far. Micefire looking for an early wall, doesn't manage to find anything. Corbs will get stunned and frozen out to oblivion. A huge anti coming in from Alu with Alianos cleaning up. Anjou finally on the Deadeye, and sure enough they will start to clean up here. This is Death's Knell for Platchat. 2-0 for Geometric. However, Platchat did manage to stall for a good amount.
Yeah, definitely agree. Platchat did manage to stall for a little while there. You know, like I said, they just kind of saved up all their ults, and they just kind of walked in and pressed Q. So that's kind of all you need, especially when you only need a tick. So
okay,
not too shabby.
I'm shocked this isn't the bomb from the defense for Geometric, because that was a rather impressive bomb.
Yeah, it was definitely a really, really good bomb. I mean, Storm literally saved his team from not having to go to B with that bomb alone, I think.
Yeah, quite possibly.
But yeah, again, I mean, it's just been the story of the series so far. We just see Geometric just being absolutely dominant. Honestly, like, even if Eagle didn't normally play Lucio, I don't think that's the only issue here. I think there's a lot more going on with Platchat right now. They just don't look super coordinated.
Yeah, they definitely don't look quite as comfortable as they probably should at the moment. I believe, I might be thinking of a different team, but I believe Little Puppy is on Platchat, and I believe he's the one who started against Hyperflex, so they might be playing with quite a few subs as well as people off-rolling here. That might be the issue. In the meantime, Platchat decides to go to King's Row. Somewhat unsurprising.
Eichenwald, definitely not surprising.
Eichenwald gets a little bit of love in, I believe, Intermediate, but aside from that, I don't think it's ever been played in Novice that I know of.
Yeah, I mean, King's Row, I feel like, is just such a comfort pick for a lot of people. I mean, some people do make the argument that King's Row is probably like one of the most best designed maps in the game. But I mean, it's King's Row, right? Like, you gotta pick King's Row. So.
Yep, and sure enough, Geometric wants to defend first.
Yeah, not surprising again. I think, again, we're going to kind of see the same. We're still seeing the same mentality that they had on Hanamura. They just know they're better right now, and they're just pushing that advantage.
Yeah, I mean, hey, if you can have a 40-minute match, why not?
Yeah, that's 100% true.
Well, let's see. Well, the only person who can get subbed in at the moment who's in the lobby is Awesome. Would probably be coming in for Alianos, but it looks like all the teams are going to be pretty much all set.
No Kizco, you cannot sub in.
Yeah, I was about to say Kizco cannot come
You cannot go crazy mode.
It looks like, yeah, okay, both captains have stated they are ready, so we're going to hop into this, what is potentially the final map, at the very least match point for Geometric.
Yeah.
Platchat needs to pull something out here.
I feel like Platchat hasn't even really won a fight. Like, they've won like 2 fights on Koth and on the second map, and I feel like that's really it. Like, it's just been dominant from Geometric.
Yeah, Platchat, you know, during week 1 they looked really solid against Hyperflex. Hyperflex still looks solid, so like looking back on that, you could say, oh, well, Plat must be at least upper middle pack, right? But after getting 3-0'd by OTW and the rather poor showing they're having now, despite the sub issue, obviously they're not playing with their intended roster. Maybe this was the issue last week, I don't know. I haven't actually watched the OTW match from last week. Who knows, but Plat's definitely looking a lot weaker.
I mean, I gotta say though, I can appreciate the little bit of creativity. If they do stay on this comp, I think it'll be very interesting.
Super Monkey Ball.
I think playing Monkey here is interesting.
It can work, but
it can work. I just think then knowing that they're probably just gonna stay meta, it's a very interesting choice for Vaporeon if he chooses to stay on this Monkey. But I mean, with Doomfist, I mean, all you need is one good punch, and I mean that just opens up a fight. So.
Yeah, however, Alpha has been playing rather passive when he was on the Doomfist briefly during the last map, so we'll have to see if he gains the confidence to actually go in for a pick and get out.
Yeah, I mean, here, honestly, like, he shouldn't even be hiding. He should just be playing with his Reinhardt, like, or his Monkey. Looks like they are going to go for a dive here.
Aldeanos finds an early stun onto Misfire, but it doesn't really matter as Misfire collapses onto Alu and he will die, so this is a 6v5 in
Corp's
favor
going
of
for a Hero Shatter, but it's not going to work out for him too well.
Aldeanos and
charge.
Microwave start to even up the fight, but Plat is still up by 1 at the moment, if I recall. Alpha Omega getting incredibly deep, does get stunned up and melted almost immediately, and now Geometric starts to have the advantage once again. Yep, this is going back into favor. Storm cleaning up a lot of the final kills, Microwave just harassing the front line, and they're forced back into spawn.
Oh man, and I mean that fight right there has been the epitome of this entire series, I think, for Plat. Like, clearly winnable, they were up, man, but you just see it again, the power of this Mei McCree DPS lineup just absolutely shuts down both of their DPS so hard. Like, we saw Alpha Omega even trying to go in, just gonna get freezed, just gonna get slept, you know, he's just gonna get stunned, and it's so hard for him to get value outside of his punches here.
Aldeanos actually forced Alpha Omega there to reposition using his cooldowns just to get out of his line of sight because he was taking so much poke damage. That's going to take that much longer for Plat to have that early engage potential, and Misfire falls almost immediately to that Deadeye, already being body shot. Corbs does get taken up by Vaporeon, however Plat is just losing out. You know, they don't seem as coordinated as they really need to be in these fights when they start to get more scrappy.
Yeah, it's definitely hard. You know, Eagle coming up on B here, but they are running into a Blizzard from Microwave. No Diva, so eating it out is out of the question.
Oh no, Vaporeon and what looks like... Yeah, Misfire did get sectioned off there. No one has died yet, however, Alpha Omega is in the middle of the backline.
Microwave should die here.
Don't know if they're going to be able to punish him. No, he does manage to get back to his team. Alpha Omega had an incredibly aggressive Meteor Strike there. Corb's going in with a really aggressive Shatter. Charge. I always mix those two up for some reason.
Well, he did Shatter. It didn't get anything. Nis did a very good job of blocking that Shatter, but, I mean, at the end of the day, it didn't even matter. Microwave still has that Blizzard, and Aldeanos coming up on another Deadeye here, so...
Yeah, I mean, they just haven't had to use it. Microwave's been holding onto his ults a lot, which is kind of uncharacteristic. Ooh, beautiful
pick. Oh, that's a huge pick, though.
Alpha Omega, they need to push in on this right now, and sure enough, they are.
Corpse needs to die here.
Oh, Corpse
actually gets Alpha! Oh.
He was on the low ground, bad positioning, and just fell. Flintless and Microwave both falling, though. Neos and Corpse having a Rhine battle, of which Alu manages to interrupt, and Storm tosses in a bomb at the last moment.
Are you kidding me?
Every single time the fight starts to go in Plat's favor, Storm's just like, hey, you ever heard of this nice thing called a Diva Bomb?
Yeah, you have to be kidding me there. Storm literally just threw that mech away to get bomb back. Like, that wasn't even supposed to be a set bomb. That was literally just a tempo bomb. And Storm managed to get 2 kills with it.
Misfire.
Oh, and that's a huge slam. Clean him up.
Yep. Read him and weep, as McCree says, because that is probably all she wrote. I don't know if Plat can get back to point in time. Especially with, especially with that. With Misfire getting caught out. Alpha Omega swaps over to the Sombra. I'm not sure if it's going to be enough to actually get to point. He will manage to contest point, but will he be able to survive, especially with the beat coming out, both beats coming out, but Microwave finally uses the Blizzard. Storm has another bomb. When did that happen? So he has that in the back pocket. Oh, he ate the Blizzard. That was so obvious. And there goes the bomb.
That's just putting the cherry on top. I mean, Misfire didn't really have a choice but to just cheat that Blizzard in.
You saw it from a mile away. Actually, I happened to be spectating Storm when he ate it, so that was a rare occurrence. Usually you see it from third person, if anything, but just solid play. Geometric look coordinated. Platchat don't.
There were so many times there where Platchat should have won, and they didn't have the coordination, they didn't have the target focus. And I mean, Mei, if left unchecked, Mei is just gonna destroy your entire team with how strong she is right now. Kree is the same way. Like, I mean, you saw. I mean, Storm had good bombs, yes. And actually, I think ate both of the Blizzards.
Yeah, at least one of them.
At least one of them. Obviously, we saw at the end. But I mean, you have to feel for Platchat, because I mean, there were so many times there, like I talked about earlier, they had the fight in their back pocket, and just somehow something manages to happen, and Geo just manages to swing the fight back in their favor. Like, we saw that one time where Alpha got that Hanzo pick onto Alianos, and they still lost that fight. They were a man up, and they had ult advantage, and they still managed to lose.
Interesting. So now we actually are seeing the Baptiste come out from Iggledy-Bop. Being a DPS normally, I wonder if he will.
Kind of makes sense, actually.
Yeah.
Put him on Baptiste. He can definitely provide a lot more pressure than he could on Lucio. And I mean, wait, if you're gonna play double shield, right? You don't really need speed. The whole point of double shield is to be very much holding your ground.
Yes, I want to see this Alianos Widow. He's played it in the past. He's looked incredible on it. I want to see it. Make it happen. Get picks. Oh, he sees Misfire. He knows.
Yeah.
He's waiting.
I mean, to be fair, if you are missed here, like, you have to know that they're gonna see you. They're gonna catch you on rotation, right?
He's
like,
keeping that
they have to
Reaper
know
in
you're
his
gonna see.
sightlines, or at least where he's supposed to be. Oh, immediate headshot onto Vaporeon, taken down extremely low. Taking pot shots at the Orisa, but Corbs will finish off Neas in the meantime with a nice fire strike. Iggledy-Bop's Immortality Field does not manage to save him. Just out of placement, and sure enough, the defenders will fall rather fast. Platchat's already in stall mode with 30 seconds into this round.
And just like that, that's going to be it.
Yeah. Well,
walled off, ball can't even touch, and that's going to be GG for Geometric.
Yep. Quick game, nonetheless. I'm almost certain that the other games are ongoing at this point. I'd be shocked if they were as fast as this. Corb's actually taking a play of the game for once.
Definitely going to be his 5-man chatter here.
Has to be. Yep, just walk straight into him.
That's all you got to do, especially with playing double shield. Once that Orisa shield goes down, it's pretty much free low for him. But I mean, hats off to Geo, man. Absolutely a dominant showing for them.
Yep.
And I mean, Platchat, man. There's some. I definitely think it's going to be a very interesting thing to review for them. But I just felt like they were lost, like, almost that entire series. Like, I never really felt like they took a clean fight. So
yeah, they just didn't have the composure they needed in the middle of the fights. But anyways, the team is saying a mix between Alu and Flint. I think either one of them is fine, especially considering Geo's support situation coming into this match. A lot of the doubts. And Alu and Flint originally being, the backups, having to play the starters this entire match, looking rather good. Do you have a preference over
nope.
one of them?
I do not have a preference.
Alu seems to want it more, so...
let's give it to Alu.
Let's go find him. Where is he? There he is. Casting booth 2. And there we go. Okay.
Ooh, Pog.
You are unmuted. So, congratulations for the win. Normally I say hard-fought win, but that was rather fast, so I don't know if...
Yeah, you're kind of right. You just only...
Unfortunate.
You see, Geometric, we call ourselves speedrunners for a reason.
Well, you certainly sped-run this to the dismay of Platchat. So coming into this match, obviously there were a lot of question marks coming in for your guys' support line in particular because Storm was apparently on off-tank. I don't know what happened there.
It was because our our typical off tank Churd. He was
Churd, that's
out
right.
of the business. I don't know why, but he just was.
Okay. And then obviously Hanzo being brought up to wait what an intermediate. There were a lot of question marks there, but you and Flint managed to pull it out. No
Yeah,
obvious weak points.
Dude, everyone in Novice thinks that we are a whole bunch of Smurfs, to be honest, and that our tank line or support line rather wouldn't be able to do anything without Hattori and Stormy. But I think this proves that me and Flint are the second best support line that were ever in Novice.
Possibly.
The only other better support line than us is obviously Hattori and Stormy, but Hattori's gone now, so.
Yeah, for sure. I have a quick question for you, Alu.
What's up?
So, I know going into this game, like, I mean, I was looking back at some of the Plat chat, and they actually didn't look too bad, in like their first 2 weeks. So okay, I gotta ask this though. How confident were you guys feeling going up into this matchup? Like, were you feeling?
There's
I'm assuming you were
absolutely no
feeling
doubt 3-0. Absolutely no doubt, dude. We coming into the match, we already knew that they were I would say below average, just the bottom 3 team.
Okay.
We already knew that off the bat. But the fact that they didn't get a single point and lost a fight where I was feeding, holy moly! They have some.
You got Ninja in here? Is this Ninja?
The stereotypical geometric confidence coming out.
Yeah, definitely agree.
Without
I gotta say though,
you are bad.
I gotta say though, definitely, your confidence definitely showed this series.
Yeah.
So definitely a well-deserved win for you guys.
Well deserved. Hello. They had no chance of winning this in the first place.
Sure. Let me pull up.
There is no sure. There is only yes. Geometric is the best team, and anyone that tries to stop them will be stopped at map 1.
Let me just double check the schedule, because I believe next week you guys are actually facing, it's either One Trick or Wisdom, but I believe you're facing Wisdom. Yeah, you're
easy clap. Easy
facing
clap.
Wisdom.
Easy
So
clap.
are you
easy clap. Easy
worried
clap,
about
easy
anything?
Clap. Absolutely not. I mean, we're out here scrimming Masters teams, and we're not losing. So
Okay. Interesting.
using our Screambuck stonks, I like it.
Oh, dude, Scrimbucks mean everything. Hello, I'm only on this team because of Scrimbucks. I styled so hard in tryouts that I didn't even need to go to the privates. Hello.
Anyways, that's all the questions I've got.
Yeah, that's it for me as well. Thank you, Alu. Thanks for coming in. You guys played really well, so congratulations.
Follow me on my Twitter. I shitpost every day. At Durandal's Cherry.
I don't think anyone's going to remember that, but okay. We'll let you get back to your team. All right.
That was an interesting interview for sure.
You know, I'm sad to say that Wait What is rubbing off on them.
Yeah, I have to agree. Though I have to appreciate the fact that they just have so much confidence. Like, I'd rather a team like have confidence like that. So I think it'll be interesting, right? Because I haven't lost yet.
Mm.
So I think it'll be really interesting
when they
especially
do
like
lose.
we talked about. Yeah, I think it'll be really interesting when they do lose. Or if they lose, they could go undefeated. But
possibly.
I mean, like we talked about, that Wisdom Academy game is going to be so crucial.
Especially because who's Wisdom facing tonight? Hyperflex, right? So if Wisdom comes out on top of that, like Wisdom has a serious contention for being the top team.
Yeah. And you can make an argument like, I mean, that might have not even been Geo's final form, right? Like we could see a totally different beast coming out for Wisdom Academy.
Possibly.
But man, I mean, there's not really much to say, right? Like it was literally just an absolutely dominating performance. I mean, Alu had a point. Like Plat didn't even take a point.
Yep, they didn't get a single point on the board.
There's only so much I can say that's besides the fact that like Geo just dominated.
Unfortunately, they just had a terrible situation tonight. I believe they had a ton of subs. I believe they would have been a little bit better off with an actual main support in instead of a flex DPS.
Yeah, I can definitely agree there. But I still think there's a lot they need to like figure out, because like I feel like even if you have a sub in on flex support, your fight should never look that dirty. Like,
Yeah, they just lacked confidence, which unfortunately runs rampant
you could
in this
see it.
SR. But
yeah, you could see it, especially after map 1. Like, it was it was just so obvious.
I think part of the issue, from what I noticed, was when they actually started winning a fight, it almost felt like they got overconfident and like stopped playing as a team, and they spread out.
Yeah.
And Geometric kept composed and just collapsed on them because it's like, oh, well, they're spread out now.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about the storm bombs, right? And I think the reason why Storm was able to get so much value is like you talked about that, that not sticking together. Because like, especially if you're going to play that Rhine, Orisa, like Diva, May McCree comp, like you need to stick together. It's literally like goats. It's the same concept. You have to play together. You have to brawl together. You all have to shoot the same thing, or else, I mean, at that point, you might as well just be playing dive if you're going to split.
Yeah.
So. At that point, like Storm is able to get so much value off of their bombs because Platshot just split. Like you notice a lot of those bombs were in losing fights. Platshot gets greedy. They want to split off. They want to get picks, and they get picked off by bomb. So, I mean, it was their own greed at the end that kind of brought them down. But I mean, like I said, I think Platshot has a lot to work on going forward the rest of the season.
Yeah, definitely. They're gonna need to prove that they are as good as people believed they were after week 1.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
Anyways, hope you all enjoyed watching this VOD. Unfortunately, we couldn't get it streamed to y'all, but at the very least, we did get it recorded and all that good stuff. So, this is... I'm so used to saying, go check out the other streams and stuff, but we're not streaming, so good night.
It's true.
Peace, not.
Good night, everyone.